Peace, family. 19 Keys tapping in. Yo, what a day. What a day. Top of the rising to the family. Top of it. Let's get to it. Yeah. Hold on. I know y'all want to talk some money this morning, huh? All right, so listen. Today, around 6 in the morning, very early, Donald Trump had dropped a meme coin. Now, this is significant, first of all, because what this does, number one, is it shifts all attention to cryptocurrency right before his presidential election, right? This creates the perfect storm for all of the FOMO in the world, right? This is going to be one of the time, I believe, like the first 30 to 60 days. It's going to be opportunity for extreme wealth, right? We're going to be spending all our time within the infinite wealth strategies, making sure that we hunting down the coins inside the right ones, in the right positions, because the opportunity is way too massive right now, right? This is where you can make giant leaps. I'm talking about quantum leaps, right? I've always looked at this as the year of quantum leaps, meaning that you can go from a beginner that never got into crypto and you can jump in right now and make the right moves, right? And make quantum leaps. Now, it's not just about hunting, the next meme coin to come out, but it's more so about, number one, at least having the knowledge, because there's too many people that don't even have the knowledge at all. So even if something occurs, they don't know where to buy a wallet. They don't know how to get on Solano, right? Using the Phantom. They don't know if something is on the Sweet Chain. How do they get it from there? So if you don't have the knowledge, that's the bare minimum. And then once you get the knowledge, you got to start executing and experimenting, right? I don't know why these glasses like this. Let me get this off. You got to start executing and experimenting so that you can start winning, right? That's the bare minimum, right? You start executing, you be a little patient, and the seeds that you plant, they will grow. The seeds that you drop, rather, they will grow. So during this, seeing somebody like the President of the United States drop a coin, what does this mean exactly, right? You got to understand it differently than anybody else dropping a coin. So far, it's not the same as Donald Trump dropping a meme coin, right? Now, so far, this has come from his official page, and there has been no one that said that this is not his coin. There has been no speculation per se to say that he's been hacked. It has been up for a matter of hours, and it has gotten all the way up to become one of the top cryptocurrencies currently, right? You can go look at CoinMarketCap, and you can look at all of the projects that are at the top right now. This Trump meme coin is performing extremely well. Actually, it's performing too goddamn good, right? Now, he dropped it on the Solano chain. Solano chain is the best one because Solano chain has much lower fees. So you have to understand, in the world of crypto, there are different chains, right? So blockchain, ETH, they all have different fees. Now, ETH is already talking about having an event soon to where they're doing some upgrades to their blockchain as well. So you want to pay attention to that. But right now, let's look at it. The official Donald Trump coin is at number 28. It is at $27 at presidency. But the question becomes is, where would this be towards the end of his presidency? Where would this be in another 30 days, right? Where would this be in another 60 days? Now, I'm not really want to get deep on the speculation upon his coin. I'm not really worried about that. But I do believe that this is going to go somewhere here to where more people are going to start creating more meme coins. Just as when we thought the meme coin craze was about to die down, he poured as much fire as you could possibly pour on it. This is volcanic level fire. You understand me? And what I do see, because my thesis is that we're going to go into digital cities. People are doing world building. And inside that world building, you're going to be having your own coins, your own currency, right? This has definitely put a battery in my back to create my own coin, right? Because I do see that he's added a level of validity to it that anybody who's not the president below that should be able to create their coins for their community. Now, this is like the Trump MAGA coin forever, and everybody hasn't even woke up and even bought this thing yet. But it changes the narratives around cryptocurrency, giving it even more global reach. It's going to be introducing a lot of people who may have been skeptical about crypto to jump in, specifically his MAGA fans. Right? It's going to create a media frenzy, so it's going to control all of the media, right? Going into his presidency, he's already beat any president when it comes to making the citizens rich, because people are jumping in, putting in $80 and turning that to $800,000. You know, some guy put in like $1 million and got 120 million. Now he probably was on the inside, you feel me, of what was going on with everything, I imagine so. But these boys is playing a different type of game. As you see, he's putting his Hollywood friends inside different positions, right? He's putting anybody he wants to. That particular America is playing a completely different game. And you got to understand to update yourself to where we are today. Because if you're still playing the old game, right, you will lose, I promise you. You will lose. You will 100% lose. This is a new type of game. This is a new type of race. You feel me? And once you start playing it based on where we are in today's time, to where you can create digital cities and currencies, and nepotism is the law of the day. They don't care about no DEI, none of that crap. It's going to continue to get worse and worse in the Twitter streets upon all the racism and all that stuff to keep the people divided. That means that you have to make sure that within your framework, right, you have the ability to stay in position, get in position, and play the game a completely new way. Building wealth is going to look different. It doesn't look the same. It doesn't look like going to college for the next 8 years and hoping that you get a 6-figure job. See, the intelligence behind dropping this right now, while the younger generation has been worried about, yeah, we're going to talk about GTA. While the younger generation has been mad because he getting rid of TikTok, which could make him an unpopular president, he say, nah, don't get me wrong. I'm going to get y'all some money still, because TikTok represented the American dream, right? TikTok, you can go on there with creativity meets opportunity. You can become anything that you wanted to, and you can create, right, an opportunity and a job for yourself. Just about doing anything down there, if you can do it the right way and find a niche. That's what America was, right? The janitor could become a king. On TikTok, that thing was that, right? We seen Keith Lee, he put out his testimonial of how he changed countless lives by just going on TikTok and making videos. And now he's changed, right, American businesses for the better, and even been able to go on a global tour because of that. Now that Gen Z generation, who represented 45 to 50% of the TikTok era, right, was making money on that, they got to figure out a way to shift. Now, of course, that goes into advertisement dollars, such as Google, Meta, Snap, right? So we can probably see if that goes all the way through. We can see a surge in those option calls over there, or we can see a surge in the stocks over there, because that money should be flowing to them, right? But if we continue to go back onto crypto, it also creates volatility within the market, because you're going to have pump and dump schemes, because people are going to be looking at it, and then it sets FOMO at an all-time high, which I believe that the future right now is credible creators creating their own coins. So imagine like this. You got 19 keys. I got my own coin, right? Let's say it's at a $19 billion market cap. Cool. I got my digital city. I got physical cities. We buying assets. We got our own world over here. We exchanging in our own currency. Then you got somebody like Kai Cenat. He got his own coin over there for his people. He got like 50 million followers over there, right? So he got his followers over there, right? Then you got, EYL got their own coin. You know what I mean? Whoever you want to think of, but everybody has their own currencies, right? And they're exchangeable, and they're jumping in these different worlds, and each one of these worlds has their own projects. I'm creating me a smart city over here, right? They're creating them a city in Ghana, right? Somebody else is building out whatever other project that they want to. So this now creates these digital networks. And I think that that is the wave of the future. And the thing about dropping it as a meme coin is that you don't want to have any promises. The promises is where you start to get in trouble with, like the SEC and things of that nature, right? You just want it as a currency itself. And then later on, you can decide to do things with that coin if that's what you so please. But I think that's the key. Now, what I teach is tokenomics, understanding why people buy coins in the ecosystem in the first place, right? Tokenomics comes from a psychologist by the name of B.F. Skinner, right? It goes off social rewards. Punishment, right, or reward is why we do everything. How do you get people to stay inside the ecosystem of that coin? So if you create good tokenomics and you know how to find good tokenomics and study them, then you know which coins to buy, which ones not to buy. When you know how to check the different scanners and things of that nature, you can see what's rug pulls, what's not rug pulls. There's many different ways to be able to make money in the crypto space, specifically when we're talking about decentralization, right? Decentralization, I believe, is the key. As we're looking at TikTok right now being banned, I don't think you should just go jump into another app. I think decentralized internet is the key to it all. So therefore, you actually own it, and it's not owned by a corporation or another billionaire creating a scheme for them to make billions of dollars and control the media whenever they want to change up the algorithm, right? I believe it's more so about the ability for us to be able to control our IP and control our data whenever we want. And so that nobody can decide to say, oh, we're going to take this down, and then all of a sudden you don't have access to your community, your files and things that you've been doing for the last year or two, building up your business and your career and your profile. Now, there's already platforms like this that's a little more difficult to use, such as Mastodon, that has multiple different servers that you can jump in and out whenever you want to, and it's owned by a nonprofit versus just one particular person or corporation, essentially being owned by the people. So there's another thing called the mimetic economy, which is the coin could evolve more into a cryptocurrency, becoming a cultural statement or collectible, right? So you start thinking about the digital collectibles that are created. And as these digital collectibles, it starts to become a more pop culture appeal with these memes, that people like celebrities and things of that nature are owning them, and becomes a common state that individuals are utilizing them, right? I think that polarizing figures should all buy them. I think it represents a certain level of sovereignty. People that want to get into crypto, it's a low barrier of entry getting into the meme coin. But also, I think it's a way to create wealth. But so I want to let you all know this. It's a distraction at the same time. It's a distraction from the fact that the economy is rigged up. It's a distraction from the fact that asset prices are too high. It's a distraction from the fact that, the world that we're living in is becoming automated by artificial intelligence, robots, and immigrants, right? And they don't want the American people to focus on that. So they're going to give you play money. And this play money can become real if you know what to do with it. The problem is this. Most people, when it comes to real life, they're not going to pay attention to real life, right? They want to be entertained, right? And most people, once you get money, you're going to utilize it for the same thing you've always been doing it. So it don't matter if you get $1 million in crypto, that $1 million probably go out if you got bad habits. This is why financial and economic literacy is important no matter how much money you're getting, right? Whether you have a small amount or whether you have a large amount. Because they've done these studies that show that the money always ends up in the same pot, because of where people spend their money on. People get money, start buying cars, start buying clothes, they start buying these things, and then that eats up into your money. And then you realize that you are not actually good at making money. It was the mechanism that you got into, right, that was good. And so when that mechanism is no longer working, when we're in a down cycle, those people are broke again. So the goal is to have a strategy. The goal is to be financially and economically literate so that you can operate and move correctly. So they don't mind dumping money into bad habits of people, because that money will just circulate within the economy again, right? So you want to make sure that you have a strategy, right, for building out your wealth, and you are financially disciplined as well, which I think is the greater key, because making it is not the problem. It's keeping it and knowing where to put it once you get that, right? So you shouldn't automatically change up your lifestyle because you get some money. That's not the key. The world is in a bad position. And by bad position, I mean that, yes, people will make money, but you have to understand money is not everything. Money is becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Not from the sense of costs based on interest rates or anything of that nature, but I mean cheaper as in the idea and the value of what is money. When you can just create a digital currency and it gets a $23 billion market cap, it shows you that people don't care about money. They'll put their money into anything. So you have to understand the psychology that's related to this shift as well, right? As the dollar is going down, they're looking for something else. As the world is going down, they're looking for you to focus on something else. If there was a sign of an end empire, I will believe digital currencies will be one of those signs, right? Meme coins, literally laughable stocks of money. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't utilize it to go take digital money and buy physical things, right? Because that should be your goal. As the future continues to shift, you want to figure out, all right, how do I get into the best position in the future? And how do I utilize my resources for that? Because money is not money anymore in the same sense. Money is in exchange for something, but I mean like cash, and these things won't have the same value. So you don't want to hold on to them. You want to shift them into assets that will be more valuable in the future. Things that you can trade off to give you access to things, right? So I don't have time to go into that right now because I'm about to go work out. But I wanted to ask my brother a question. He say, Keys, this is my question regarding crypto, and I'm still learning. Please add me. But I will try to ask here. Isn't there a ceiling of trust with crypto because there isn't really tangible backing? Well, it's a great question. It's the age-old question. And the reality of it is crypto is backed by particularly the blockchain, right? Depending on your definition of backed. And it's backed by the trust of the people, right? Whether people trust it or not. The blockchain is what makes it trustable, right? Because the blockchain, and at least particularly Bitcoin, is an unhackable system so far, right? So that makes it what we call trustless. That means you don't have to trust it, right? It's automated. So people are not looking to trust cryptocurrency. It is held up to the test of time based on that. Now, is it hackable if you don't have it stored the right way? Are there scams in it? Absolutely. All those things exist. But then you ask yourself, what is the American dollar backed by? The blood, sweat, and tears of the American people, right? Now, if the American people, human capital, which is what is graded by human capital, right, is the value of each citizen in America, right? But productivity continues to go down, right? So therefore, the dollar continues to go down as people productivity goes down, because as every citizen is not being worth as much because we're automating with robots. So their workforce is not worth as much money. The dollar continues to go down as well. So you really want to get a little deeper into that question of understanding how money becomes backed in the first place. Traditionally and historically, there's never been a crypto or never been a currency successfully launched without being backed by gold. So this is the first time in history we're seeing currencies launch without them being backed by 30 to 40% gold in the first place, right? So we're in new territory when we're talking about what is it backed by and what is it trusted. We have to let things unfold a little bit, I believe, because all the analysts in the world, all the economists in the world say don't trust it, right? But the question becomes, does it matter? All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see y'all later. I'm about to go get some gains in the gym. Please do not miss out on this opportunity. Peace.